Second one.
Ooh, what up, though? It's Thursday, and Michigan weather has deemed us into a shitstorm. But, yeah, we're still here, and this is Knockouts and Three Counts. And I told you, we'd like to keep it one episode a week where we bring you a special guest. And we bring a guest who it's been a while since his last time on the show, but we brought you one, Mr. Tommy Vendetta. How the hell you doing, brother, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Cold.
Doing
cold.
I feel you. I feel you, man.
It's all good.
I shoveled the driveway one time already, and I'm still thawing right now.
Yeah. Screw this.
Yeah, see, at this point, I just say fuck it, and that's what the snowblower is for. I'm just saying that's what the snowblower is for. No shame in my game. Look here, dude. I work at work. I'm going to get this shit done as quick as possible. And anybody who's got something to say, guess what? I don't give a fuck. But talking about not giving one, man, you have got a lot of fucks to have to give here, man, because you've got quite the weekend in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, tell me a little bit about, obviously it's been a while since you've been on the show. Like I said, BCWA was the first time we've had you on, but you've done quite the job at getting yourself out there on your own and separating yourself as more than just a part of DTA, which no disrespect to the DTA boys, because if you guys follow us and have hit that subscribe button, which I don't know why the hell you haven't already done so yet, but
facts,
you would know that Aaron O'Ryan and the rest of the DTA boys have all been on here at some point or another. So, like I say, we have no beef with the DTA boys, but I'm saying you, especially when it comes to like the deathmatch stuff, have really kind of upped your game. So tell me a little bit about what made you want to cross into that realm of pro wrestling.
To be honest, it's mostly wanting to be able to be the best in every aspect of wrestling. Like you look at, like, for me, like some of the best of all time are the guys that can do like these hardcore matches and stuff like that. Like you look at like Mick Foley and guys like him. Thanks. Like that's how, like, when I was growing up, I was like, okay, that's badass. Like this dude's getting caked in blood, like still getting up and fighting. And like for me, that was kind of where I was like, all right, you're like a superhero in that regard. So I think that's what like made me kind of want to get into it, was just seeing if I could, number one, do it and see if I could hang with some of the best. And then to see if I could excel from there and just be better and better and better at every aspect of it. And then basically every aspect of wrestling, like intergender, tag, like I want to be the best at everything.
I like it, dude. Well, and that brings up a good question that I wanted to ask too. I mean, obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about what you've got going on deathmatch wise, as you're going to be going to war for the American Deathmatch title. But I mean, do you find it hard to kind of bounce back and forth in between the two? Because I've seen you do your thing and just straight up pro wrestling stuff, and you can do your thing there too. So do you find it hard to kind of like cross back and forth in the different styles as far as pro wrestling goes?
I would say it's like a kind of different mentality, but it's the same mentality. Like you're still going out there, you're still basically beating the other dude's ass until you get the win, and it's layers of brutality. I think that you have to be able to like know when to bring more, know when to bring less. It is for like a mental aspect of it, like the preparation of going into a normal match or a death match, like mentally is completely different. Like normal match, I'm just like, all right, let's go and do this. Like with a death match, I'm like, all right, let's try not to die. Let's try not to do this. Let's try not to do that. I really don't want to piss my mom off, so let's maybe not do that. So like
you can't
probably
piss
like the only thing that's
off,
different.
bro.
You can't piss mom off, dude.
Nah, not Mama Vendetta. She whoops ass.
You think a death match is bad? Piss mom off.
Yeah, that's big facts
Bro,
right there.
I mean, you're not lying. Like, my
got a
mom has
question.
punched one of my teachers before, so I can totally feel that. Corey
That's
can
the
attest
next
to
level
this.
shit.
Like, my mom does not fuck around, dude.
Hell yeah.
I got a question trying to piggyback off of Kyle's question there. So your very first taste of a deathmatch scenario, going into something like that, there's really no preparation for that, right? Am I right?
No, I was completely lost. My first death match, I think, would have been against Jimmy Lloyd. And
That's a
credit
hell
to
of a
him.
way to start. Shit.
No, genuinely, credit to him. He was a great dude. He was awesome to work with and be able to like get ushered into that world by a legend, essentially, like that. So it was a really cool experience, and it helped me kind of like see like what the top guys are doing in that aspect and how they lay everything out and go out there and just destroy everything. Like it was really cool. It was like a mind-boggling experience.
You coming out on the other side of that, it probably changed your life, I would imagine.
Oh, dude, I was never the same. I walked around like my dick just smacked my ankles, dude. I was like, "What's up, y'all?"
Yo,
dude.
look, Jimmy Lloyd and Sabu were going hard when I was in Vegas with Megaran for SummerSlam because we saw him and Janela and Alley Catch and all those guys. So I'm just gonna say Jimmy Lloyd is a treat, whether you see him in a ring or you see him outside the ring.
That's not even tipping
awesome.
into the water.
Baptism by fire, bro.
You're dipping your nuts right in, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, man, you gotta dive right in.
Yeah, if you're going for it, go for it.
For sure.
Send
for sure.
it. Hey, man, what up, Donald? I see you in the comments, man. Like I said, I knew you were going to be in here. You said you had a lot of stuff you wanted to ask, so fire them away in the comments. You know I will let them go. Well,
that's
let's
my
talk
boy right there.
I know, man. Donald is look. If you ever were gonna like start like a Tommy Vendetta like enterprise club, like Donald needs to be like the president of that shit.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Just say it.
100%.
Hey, man, we got all the love in the world for Donald Holland, always showing love on knockouts and 3 counts and all that stuff.
For sure.
Hey, man, for real. But Chicago. Let's talk about Chicago. I saw a little bit of what happened at the last Ruthless Pro show. You're gonna be going to war with Hoodfoot. Now, we all got to see Hoodfoot in person at GCW at Harpo's. Now, Corey, you have self-admittedly said multiple times on this show that GCW has been your favorite out of the ones you've been to. Now, mind you, this son of a bitch was there the night that Punk returned at AEW, and he still enjoyed War Games better. So that tells you I'm not just blowing smoke when he said he enjoyed it.
I come in from an MMA side. Let's preference all that. I know most of the fans know to this point, but to let you know, I come in from the MMA side. So that being said, I appreciated the crowd. I appreciated the hype, but the matches at GCW were just so much more entertaining. It was just like it was night and day. It really was. It was way more entertaining, and I, being the scrub that I am, I fit in better in places like that where it's other scrubby people drinking their beers and then enjoying their Friday/Saturday night, and I felt like that was a perfect place for it. And since then, I have went to their 2 Detroit outings, I guess you could call it, and both of which were very entertaining as well. So.
Hell yeah.
So what are your thoughts on him taking on Hoodfoot?
He put on Hoodfoot, this being put on a very entertaining match in our last one. So anytime you see anybody going into these death matches, man, it's just a full commitment. And you've seen him kind of take his first ventures into it with GCW, if I'm not mistaken, and he did very good. So I'm excited for what the matchup brings for sure.
I hate to be the guy that's got to clean up the ring after that. We were at GCW and we took a few pictures, and I had one with the guy at the end of the event. It was us in front of the ring, and the guy was sweeping. I could see blood in front of him. There's glass. There's this shit everywhere. I'm like, dude, that's the guy right there. They're the
troopers. They're the troopers, man.
That cleanup crew is putting in some overtime for sure. Like every single time once the show's wrapping up, that's one of the things I kind of me and Kyle doing the show, we try to get some pictures in and stuff like that. And every time it's just a push broom with just lapping over the top of just broken glass.
I mean, hell, talking about Ruthless Pro, I mean, the first show I watched, I mean, past guest of the show, Randy West, had a fucking potted plant in the middle of the ring. So, I mean, you had about anything you can think of at a Ruthless Pro show. So, how are you feeling about Ruthless Pro's debut in Chicago and Hoodfoot? Like, where are you at mentally with this one? It's going to be a war, but, I mean, obviously you're not going to give away your game plan, but, I mean, that's a big sumbitch to go in and fight with.
Oh, I mean, I'll give away my game plan because I'm not scared of Hoodfoot. My game plan is essentially to just go in there, hit him with some sweet shit, try not to get hit, and walk out with a W. To paraphrase Nate Diaz, that's essentially my plan.
Hey. That's what I like to hear. So, okay, let's lead into that a little bit, though. Are you a big MMA fan? Are you watching UFC regular and all that good stuff? All right. So then we've got some stuff to talk about with you, Mr. Vendetta. Because some pretty gnarly shit is getting ready to go down this Saturday. You got that bare knuckle mania going down. Mike Perry and Julian Lane is about to be a train wreck of the highest degree. If you saw the damn press conference today, my man had a bat in his hand, like a legit bat in his hand. So
it's gonna be a good one.
Who do you got in that one? Do you think Mike Perry gets him, or do you think Julian Lane gets him?
Mike Perry all day. That's my boy right there, dude. I'm a Mike Perry guy.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about is he's gonna need a new nose again after this.
You may be right.
I mean, once you get tattooed on your face, I don't think you really give a fuck anymore.
True.
Until you mentioned that, I forgot about his nose just being completely inverted into his eye sockets, basically.
Yeah, dude, he's got that Squidward nose, dude. That's what he's got.
Man, I forgot all about that. That was one of the most vicious nose injuries. Oh my lord. And you're not lying. I don't know how that plastic's going to hold up to a bare knuckle, that's for sure.
Dude, that's going to be a rough one, man.
That being said, man, bare knuckle's always fun. They got a ton of cards, or a ton of great fights, being their showcase event of the year. And this being the main, it's not the main event, but it's their main showcase bout. It's definitely the one
their
I'm most
version
excited.
of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Knucklemania, damn it.
Well, what I was trying to get to is this isn't the main event of the card. This is their showcase bout, and it's definitely the one I'm most excited for. And
100%.
It's either Let Me Bang or fucking Platinum Perry. So either way, you can't really go wrong in this fight, man. It's gonna be entertaining as fuck. But I do agree with you. I think.
And let's not forget, Chad Mendez is on this motherfucker,
right?
Yo, and that dude is all sorts of gassed up right now. My God.
I'm really excited to see what happens with Chad Mendez because unfortunately, I love Chad Mendez, but bro, he muffed up my boy. I was supposed to be training with past guests of the show, Miles Fury Jury right now, but I totally forgot, and then it snowed. And so, I'm not at the gym right now, hence we are still doing the show. So, like I said, hell yeah, dude. I mean, dude, one of these days, knockouts and 3 counts is going to blow up, and then I'm going to really need a planner. But like I said, Chad Mendez stepping into a bare knuckle FC ring is really interesting to me because that dude has dynamite in his fucking hands. So I feel I just wonder, my thing is, and I wonder what your guys' thoughts are. What do you think do you think his hands are going to be able to take the damage, though? Because that's a lot different than even MMA gloves. Okay, he's still training, and it's the first time he's done bare knuckle, and a dude that hits that hard, Corey, right or wrong, you were at my last boxing fight. For a guy who's small, I hit hard. Now imagine me trying to hit the damn thing like you saw that fight, or Chad Mendez, who's way better than me, blasting somebody in the fucking mouth a bunch of times with bare knuckle.
I mean,
that's my question for this fight.
He'll fuck his knuckles up.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
The hands are definitely at risk in this fight. I hope
because he's not throwing soft. Like he might throw a few to find range, but dude, once that fight pops off, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell he's throwing bombs.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the dynamite that he has normally behind those hands, I really hope he.
Donald's saying he wouldn't fight Shawback. Wow.
To the backhand of that, the backside of that hand, because he's gonna need it, man. He's gonna be throwing those hands with some real fighters, I'd imagine. And what is most curious to me, right, is Bare Knuckles done a fairly good job of building up their promotion. They've put on some really entertaining fights for what they've been able to, accumulate with the roster and stuff up to this point. And for them to put him up against, to put Chad Mendes in his debut up against a acclaimed rapper and stuff like that, that's what's the most curious part to me.
They just want him to knock him the fuck out. That's all that is. Like, what do you mean?
That's what my point was getting to, is I don't know if we're gonna see where it gets to the point where Chad Mendes' hands are fucked up or anything like that, because more than likely, and unless it just plays out in some miracle way, Chad Mendes is probably going to steamroll him.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Donald's over here coming with the heat in the comments saying he didn't want to fight John Shawback out of here. So I'm just saying, he's saying Mendes is already picking fights. So I don't know, man. Chad Mendes is a bad son bitch. But Tommy Vendetta. All right, we've talked a little bit about RPW, but, man, you said that you had some shit to get off your chest. You've got 2 wars that you're walking into. So you already said you're not scared of Hoodfoot, but I mean, that's a hell of a thing. Now, these shows, they're both the same day, or are they separate on the same weekend?
Same day.
Dude, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So he said, fuck it all, YOLO. Dude, tell me about that. Where is your head at with the whole thing? We talked RPW against Hoodfoot, but I mean, then to go into a fatal 5-way, 4-way fight for the deathmatch title, I mean, son of a bitch, dude, you're gonna not be walking very good after next week.
Nah, man, I got Darren McCarty's THC CBD gummies. I'll be fine, man.
Last guest of the show, D-Mac. Check that out.
Shout out my boy D-Mac. But no, man, I'm honestly, this has been a weekend I've been looking forward to since I knew it was gonna be like same day, even because then even the next day I got Horror Slam right after it. So I do the 2 shows on the 26th, and then I have another death match on the 27th with Chuck Stein. But I'm genuinely like, for me, this is like, everybody talks about like breakout moments and stuff like that. Like, I don't even consider this like a breakout moment. This is like a fuck you, I've been here moment for me. Because the whole hype of this so far, it's always been like, oh shit, Tommy's challenging Hoodfoot. Oh shit, like it's a big surprise type thing. And I get Hoodfoot had the breakout year and all that. And no disrespect to my boy Hoodfoot, no disrespect, but you're gonna be called the breakout star of the year after the type of year that I had in 2021. So he kind of unwillingly had a target painted on his back, and that's just what that's about. But then to go into ICW right after that and be in the American Deathmatch championship match, genuinely, I didn't think that would be a thing for me. I'm 0-2 at ICW. Everybody's looking at it like I'm the underdog type thing. Like nobody thinks that I got what it takes to beat these guys and stuff. These are all dudes who've been there and stuff, and I've only been there twice type of thing. So a lot of people are going to be shocked when at the end of the match, and my hand's the one that's getting raised. But the one person that's not going to be shocked is going to be me, because it's the same thing I just said earlier. It's my fuck you, I've been here moment. That's pretty much it, man.
Energy,
that's my
man,
mentality.
You know what you need to do? Just go to that Hoodfoot match. Once you guys get all bloody and shit, just take that video and just walk right into the fatal 4-way death match. Like, fuck everybody. That's what I'm talking about. Don't even change. Same blood. Let's just go, man.
For sure, dude. That was the plan, dude. Hell yeah.
Hype over here. I mean, I'm not getting no death match. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I'm getting hyped for you.
I have a feeling, though. have a feeling with a weekend scheduled like with what you got ahead of you, man, you're going to be acquiring some new scars over the weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm prepared. I got a bunch of hot glue and new skin. We're all good.
Dude, I can, I've only used new skin for like fucking my thumbs up bowling, and this dude's talking about new skin when he's about to be like covered in his own blood.
Nah, dude,
fuck all that.
Real talk, that shit works. I had a big ass gouge on my back one time. I had my girlfriend pinch it shut, and then I spray it with some new skin. Dude, I got a scar, but I was like, man, don't need stitches.
Right.
All right.
Better than a trip to the doctor.
Just because you went there. Worst cut you ever acquired, match or otherwise, and what did it come from?
I have a scar like right on the corner of my hairline, and that one actually came surprisingly enough from my last match against Chuck Stein. I got cracked with a light tube, and it just cut a certain way and got me real good. And I actually genuinely throughout the match, like anytime I was on the offense, I was like looking in the crowd to see if I could find one of my boys, and I was like, hey, does this look like it needs stitches? New
skin?
And then pretty much. And then actually after that match, shout out Brutus Atwell. He helped me get cleaned up. I pretty much just I had him pour like a gallon of water on my head. And then I basically just like took like a bunch of like rubbing alcohol and like soaked myself in that. And then he took like a Band-Aid, put it on me, and like just wrapped my whole head. And I was good to go. Drove myself home.
A little rubbing alcohol and Neosporin made you all the better. That's all.
Oh, dude.
Like, grab somebody in the crowd, like, hey, you pinch this shut for me? So I can rub this.
Yeah, just
That's
hold
like
it
some
real
real
quick.
Mick Foley, Terry Funk type shit, bro. I'm just saying.
Outside of that, I've had a couple of cuts on my back and stuff. The only other one that was like bad, I had one on my arm. I didn't even realize I had a cut there because I have tattoos on my arm, so it kind of blended in with like all of the ink and stuff.
I know the feeling, bro.
Dude, yeah. So I get home, I'm in the shower, and I'm like soaping up, and then I just like ripped a piece of my skin off, and I was like, whoa, okay. That's a thing now.
That sucks.
But I've been lucky. I haven't needed to go and get stitches yet. Knock on some wood, but I've been pretty lucky so far.
Hey man,
Yeah,
I
would say
it.
What's the craziest thing you've ever used in a death match as a weapon?
Oh, geez. Craziest thing that everyone thinks was like the craziest thing, but it wasn't that like horrible. Was a board with like Sprite cans that got cut in half, and then they glued those to the board.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was gonna suck, and they just kind of like collapsed. Like I got a couple of pretty good cuts from them, but like nothing crazy. Craziest thing for me, I would say it's crazy just for like the aspect of like the visual of it. I gave a belly to back to Murdoch into a box of light tubes. And the cloud of dust and the amount of glass that shot everywhere, that was probably like one of the craziest moments of my deathmatch career, where I in the match, I hit it and I was just like, whoa. Alrighty then.
Can I just see that right? Donald said a razor board.
Oh yeah, that is probably one of the crazier ones.
Man.
Man, Don
shit, I forgot about that
than
one.
Me.
Yeah.
Dude, you're not kidding. You are not kidding. Like, this episode was really easy because, like we always do, if you follow us at KO3C Pod, which I don't know why the hell you're not, but we always give you the opportunity to throw out any questions because, as you saw with our Uncle Chase episode, some of those questions sometimes get us in trouble. Anyways.
Uh-oh.
We made friends with that one, but like I said, dude, Donald is like the DTA, like fucking, I don't know, like he's like your guy.
He's been down since day one, man. He's been down since day one.
Yeah. I've said it on the show a couple times now to this point. He's got to be the single most connected and most like down to earth and pushing the guys that he cares about. He's always trying to get them on shows, get guys on our show. He's doing so much kind of networking for people that he wants to see do better in their careers. So shout out to
100%, man.
Doing great work.
He genuinely is a big part of why like guys like me, guys like Alex Weir are starting to get more notoriety on Twitter because he's just constantly on people. Before I was in ICW, he was like on them all the time. And then they just hit me up one day and they were like, "Hey, what's good? You want to do it?" And I was like, for sure. Yeah. But no, like genuinely this dude, like
shit.
No, dude, he drives more than some of these wrestlers, man. Let me tell you. Like he
1,100 miles in a weekend, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Dude, genuinely like one of the most down to earth families that like I personally know. They're constantly like anytime they're coming to shows, they're hitting us up like, "Hey, do you guys have energy drinks for like your ride home and stuff?" Like genuinely like good people. Like when I traveled to Florida, he Venmo'd me like $25 to grab a drink at the airport. So I like genuinely the amount of times where like wrestling kind of hits you and weighs you down and beats you down a little bit, and then you have a guy like Don Holland that'll just like boom does something out of the blue, and it's like, damn, it's really cool to know that there's people like that in the world. I'm very appreciative that he's in my life.
That real support.
Shout out to D Holland, man. Like I said,
for sure, man.
Hey, man, he's the one that told D-Mac he wanted to see him out here on the show. Like I said, man, Donald has been a big supporter of Knockouts and 3 Counts. So shout out to Donald. But back to you. Something Donald wanted us to talk with you about is there's been a lot of talk about a match with you and a guy named Joel Bateman. So tell me what your thoughts are on a match with Mr. Bateman. And tell me, do you see as much awe and prestige to this one as everybody else seems to have at the thought of you guys banging?
I would love to. Just watching like his body of work and what he's able to do. The dude is genuinely crazy as a motherfucker, which I love that. And I think me and him get into that ring, you might want to have some blood bags on the side because we may be losing a little bit too much blood in that one. I genuinely think you put us in that ring, it would be money. Like he's one of the best in his area. I'm one of the best in my area. Like, let's see who the best is out of the two. Because it's gonna be me at the end of the day. I don't care what anybody says. I don't stay down.
He ain't scared of shit. He ain't scared of nobody. I sense that. No, sounds like he's saying line him up and he'll knock him down. If you ask me.
Yeah, he can. Hey, I'll line him up and knock his ass down. That's what's gonna happen.
He said, "Scared money don't make no money. Bring your ass from Australia and catch these hands, man." Now, Mr. Bateman, if you hear this door is wide open for your retort. But like I said, I, for one, am here for the action. So like I said, I am looking forward to seeing that happen. And talking about the action, another thing that's going down, and we've talked a lot about this place with multiple guests of the show, and even some of your fellow DTA brethren who also will be making the trip to Dallas, Texas with us. So you might want to stay tuned. You might see a workout with, I don't know, me and Isaiah Broner and, I don't know, PCO. I don't know. Check out the vlog that's coming from Dallas. Like I said, who the fuck knows what's going to happen when I end up in Dallas? And guess what? Devin's going to be there with us all along with the homie Megaran. So who knows what the fuck we're going to see happen in Texas. That being said, tell me your thoughts on Paradigm and a match with you and a guy named Jack Crane, dude.
Oh, man, I genuinely, I have a lot of respect for that dude. Just watching everything that he's done over the last couple of years, and like even before my time, and so like he is one of the craziest dudes out there. He's one of the most willing dudes out there. It just all around nice guy. Like when you talk to him in the back, he's always nice. But the second you get out there, you know, he'll bloody you up real quick. So I definitely look forward to it, man.
I mean, dude, Paradigm, these dudes are getting down and getting at it. Like I said, I've been watching that, also seeing fellow past guests of the show, Myron Reed, do his thing over there too, man. It's been a lot of guys doing their thing over at Paradigm, and the boys from DTA have been making their mark over there. Well, tell me about that, dude. Like, that's one thing that's funny to me with DTA, man. Like, I love DTA, but out of all like I don't even know what you would call you guys, like the stable faction group, whatever you call it.
We just a band of killers.
I was gonna say, but you motherfuckers fight as much within yourselves as you do outside of it. I mean, dude, you guys are definitely a bunch of killers because y'all be scrapping like brothers do, you know, within DTA. So tell me a bit about DTA, man, because I've been seeing you guys popping up everywhere, and that goes for you, that goes for Isaiah Broner, that goes for Jack Price, Aaron O'Ryan, Alex Weir. You guys are, you know, Adam Wick, you guys are all doing your thing. So tell me about it.
No, yeah, for sure, man. All of it, like everything that I have, everything that Alex has, Adam, like Aaron will constantly try and be humble about it, but we owe absolutely everything to that dude. I started training and I was pretty good and like picking up on things real good. But the second I started working with Aaron, that's when it like brought my stuff to the next level, and then I level up and level up and level up. And that's pretty much what DTA has always been about. If you ask Aaron, it was bringing in the guys that you saw that potential in, that you saw were going to be that next big thing, and helping them achieve it quicker than anybody else. And like, I feel like, especially for me and Alex, even Isaiah too, when you look at all the success that's been coming to especially Isaiah, Alex is getting a lot more notice now. And then same thing for me. Like I'm 4 years in, Isaiah's 4 years in. I think Alex is 4 or 5 years in. And like Isaiah's flying out to Texas almost like every other month for shows. He's traveling all the way. He's traveling to Ohio for shows. Like this dude, he's getting out there and he's getting noticed. And same thing with Alex. Like every time that Alex is at a spot, he goes out, shows out, and shows up. And that's just always been like the DTA way. It's been fuck what everybody says. I don't care who they say the best is. We're just going to go out there. We're going to prove that whoever you think is the best, they're not, because we're the best. And that's why for one of the longest times we always used to say that we're above the rest, because we just are. We work harder. We train harder. Like every aspect of the business, we're putting in an effort that sets us apart from other people. And I think that's where a lot of the bitterness from people comes in, when they want to get that notoriety and that same fame and that same notice, but they don't want to put that work in. They don't want to put the sacrifices in. Like Aaron and I, for a long time, we would be on the road from Friday through Sunday. Like we would drive to Canada, and then the next day or the day before that, we were coming back from Kansas, and then we'd be going to another show. Like we would put in them hours before COVID. And that was part of the reason why we started to like really creep up into the conversation of like one of those tag teams that people are like, oh, that's one of the better tag teams out there on the indies. And it just goes back to us being above the rest. That's plain and simple. That's it.
I can personally vouch for that because I was in Texas at Pele Pro Wrestling. Now, shout out to the homie Kyle Hessler, past guest of the show out here at Pele Pro. I knew Isaiah was coming the month before he showed up because I was there, and he goes, hey, I'm thinking about bringing out this guy, you know, that you already had on your show. And like, dude, I am loving seeing all of you guys, you know, spreading your wings and going different places, man. It's cool because the thing is, dude, like, that's why, you know, when you look at like the nucleus of our show, that's why you'll see guys that are from on their way up to guys that are in the WWE and AEW and UFC and Bellator and regional scene and amateur guys. And I mean, I feel like there's so many different spots and ways from guys coming in whether it's wrestling, MMA, boxing, whatever it is, man. But seeing all that stuff, that's what keeps it fresh. That's what keeps it cool. And I mean, to see you guys out here grinding and hustling, it's cool because we're out here doing the same thing. So to be along the same lines and ending up at the same shows, dude, it's dope to see you guys out there. Hopefully we'll see you two down there at WrestleMania weekend with us.
I mean, hopefully it's either there or it's New Jersey for me, WrestleMania weekend, because I know ICW is staying in New Jersey. So we'll see if I'm obligated to be there because I'm holding the American Deathmatch Championship at that point.
That would be a very valuable reason.
I mean, we could be putting out precursors. I mean, what does Paul Heyman say them, or spoilers? Isn't that what that is? Hey, see what you did there. But speaking of those things, dude,
manifestation.
Why is my the stupid Siri is trying to talk for me all of a sudden? Thank you, Siri. But now that Siri's done talking, she wanted her 5 minutes of fame. Fuck you. But with that being said, tell me about your match. You talked about Mr. Chainsaw Pro. Tell me about you and Justin Kyle, dude, because that's a pretty interesting matchup to me.
Well, to be honest, it's kind of, this is the one that I do actually have something to prove. You know, I ended last year losing my MCPW championship back to Jamal. And since there's no automatic rematch clause or anything like that, you start basically back at the bottom. So you got to work your way back up. And I thought I was going to start the year off a little bit better than I did. Aaron ended up getting a slick little veteran move roll up on me, and I pretty much just went into it and said, I'm not losing 3 in a row. It's not happening. I haven't lost. And this is the first 2 losses I've ever taken at Mr. Chainsaw, and I'm not about to have a third. And I wanted the biggest, the baddest, the meanest, the toughest, and I got that in Justin Kyle. And I mean, he's a tough dude. Like, I'm not taking anything away from him. Like, he's gonna be a hard nut to crack, but nobody's that tough once you pile drive them onto some cement.
I like it. Fuck punching him in the mouth. We're going straight to the pile driver on the cement. The pile driver on the cement. That's what I'm talking about.
Very effective.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Just ask Terry Funk. I mean, it's just like a table that don't break.
Yep.
Hey, dude, I still don't want no smoke with Terry Funk. I don't give a fuck how old he is, dude. But,
hell no, dude.
With all that being said, let's talk about something else off of matchups you got coming up. You know, something that a lot of people have liked in past shows, whether it's pro wrestlers, whether it's MMA guys, whether it's boxers, whatever have come on. We got this segment we like to call Locker Room Etiquette. Now, these things can be pet peeves. These things can be things that annoy you. These things can be advice for young guys that come in. We've had everything from wash your balls to keep your baby mama out the locker room. Bring your own wrist tape. Bring your own squirt bottle. What was the one that Silas used, J-Bone? What was it? Oh, he said don't get too comfortable?
Don't get too
comfortable. That was
comfortable.
it. He said don't get too comfortable.
That's sound advice. That is sound advice.
All right. So if you got any of them, what would it be?
For me, I like to wash your balls. For me, it's
funny.
It's
one, funny you don't catch staff that way.
Well, yeah, but it's I would say wash your gear. There's a lot of dudes who will do like long weekends and just not wash their gear for any of it, and they just by Sunday's show they come into the locker room and they open their bag and it's like getting punched in the face by a smell. So I mean that's probably my biggest one would be even if you do a smell test at home and you're like it's not that bad, the second you start sweating it's gonna get worse. So wash that shit when you get home. even if it's like if you like have one show and then you wait like 2 days and wash it, then like just wash it before your next show. That's it. Like that's my biggest pet peeve. I hate rounding a corner in a locker room and just being like, oh, what the fuck.
All right. I can't even bag on that, and we've talked about this multiple times on the show, but like I am like the biggest proponent for that because that's how first jiu-jitsu tournament I ever had, dude. Guys, geese smelled so bad I almost threw up on the mat before we ever started. And I wasn't gonna forfeit, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you can't. You can't.
Not gonna forfeit. Homie got me in a triangle, so you're.
Just in those nuts. You're just up in those nuts, huh?
Oh,
I gotta talk the shit.
How does that go? Let's say you throw up on them. What is that? Is that considered?
There it goes.
I think it's an automatic victory.
There it goes. Froze up. See, it froze up like Staff got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, they tried to call disqualification for a power bomb. So
you got disqualified.
You got
I want to know what would happen.
They tried to disqualify me for power bombing the guy because they said that I wasn't allowed to slam him, but I was like, well, you should have told him to wash his gi because I got a fucking staph infection from the shit. Now, like, it doesn't matter. Corey can attest to this, correct or wrong. When I go to the gym from now on, can I leave the gym without taking a shower? Or at least I have to go home to take a shower.
Yeah.
Right or wrong? Yeah. I literally can't. Like, especially if it's jiu-jitsu, I'm not leaving that motherfucker without a shower. Or if I have to, dude, I'm just saying. That shit sucks.
I feel that.
And
I feel that.
Somebody needs to tell motherfuckers to wash your shit. But now that we're talking about jiu-jitsu, man, now that I know you're an MMA guy, I got to get your thoughts. Did you watch UFC 271? What were your thoughts on the card? And where do you think we go from here?
I didn't get to watch it live. I got to watch like clips of it playback. From here,
good $80.
I would say, well, yeah, dude. I would say for Tai Tuivasa, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
I think the logical next step for him would be a contender fight. Like, I mean, Cyril Gane is right there coming off of a loss.
That's a great fight.
So I mean, you got all of those avenues. I honestly have no idea who's next for Stylebender. That dude has basically ran laps.
It's got to be Cannonier next though, because Cannonier had that gnarly ass knockout. Yeah, so it's got to be Cannonier next.
Yeah, I would say yeah. But I mean, I don't even think he's gonna come close to touching Izzy. Like that dude is just different levels above dudes. It's fucking nuts, man.
I'm a big fan of Whitaker, but one thing that he lacked in that fight was any real fight-ending power, and that's the one thing that Jared Cannonier does bring. Is he brings significant fight-ending power, where to the point where Derek Brunson was winning that fight like substantially, like clearly had him hurt multiple occasions.
Oh yeah.
And then all it took was Cannonier to land a couple good shots. Next thing you know, he landed a hard elbow, and basically the fight was done from there. And
dude, he was bouncing his fucking head off the ground, dude.
And that's the difference. Where I feel Izzy does still have a couple people he could face, and the Cannonier and stuff like that, because it. Depending on which version we see, if he's at 100% Cannonier being, he definitely poses some risk for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's always the risk.
I'm just gonna say this for 1 second. 1 second with Cannonier. You know, first of all respect to Cannonier, but fuck you, Cannonier, because I would have won $127 because the other two legs of my parlay went just how I said it was gonna, and Derek Brunson. If he would have just done the job, we'd have been all right. And he was doing the job, and then he just went Incredible Hulk and said, fuck you and your couch and all of it. So, yeah, shout out to Jared Cannonier, but damn it.
He's like one big muscle.
$127.
Well,
dude, you're not kidding.
Jared
like one big
Cannonier
giant
is
muscle.
ridiculous, dude. Like I just remember watching that dude walk somebody down in the octagon, hands down at his side. I was just like, dude, you know how ballsy you gotta be? That's a professional fighter, dude. Like, and he's just like, "What's up, dude? What's up? How are you?" I was like,
All right then.
Dude,
I was like,
you're
"All right, bro."
not kidding. And the thing is, he's coming down from 205 to 185, so that dude's just like
originally-
jacked.
Well, he was a
Wasn't he a
heavyweight
heavyweight?
originally.
Yeah, wasn't he a heavyweight at first?
Yes.
Yeah,
Jeez,
Dude, he's
man.
jacked to the gills, just like
I
dude,
can't-
that's
I can't
like the
lose
guy
fucking-
that if you were ever in prison, you just don't want to fight him on the yard. Like,
Oh,
if
no,
Jared
dude.
Cannonier walks
I'd kill
up on
myself.
you, like, fuck you, dude,
I can't lose 5 pounds, let alone fucking 30, 40. Jesus.
dude.
and look like
just
that
one
though.
day- I'm
lose
telling
that
you.
much weight and look like that though.
He looks
Like
like
son of
one
a
big
bitch.
walking
Even
muscle,
when you-
dude. That's just
Even
him.
when you go back and look at like his heavyweight fights and such, he wasn't really like the Tai Tuivasa type of like heavyweight or nothing. He didn't.
No,
he
he
wasn't
was-
loose and fatty or nothing. He was like already well built then.
Yeah, dude.
So
Like,
for him to
I
work
don't
his
ever
way
see a
down-
lifetime in which he looks like that unless Jared Cannonier said "fuck life." But even at "fuck life," I feel like he still would be in some kind of shape.
No, dude, he'd
Just
still
for
have
him-
like a 4-pack.
Yeah.
Just for him to work his way down the way he did through the weight classes and maintain that muscle mass and that build that he has is just it's impressive.
No, it's incredible.
Yeah.
You're not kidding, dude. And
Like
to
I
be
said,
able to
one
keep
big
that
muscle.
size.
He's just one
Well,
giant muscle.
Speaking
Well-
of that, the other thing I wanted to ask you guys about with UFC 271 is coming out of that. I mean, a guy who I like and I feel like would do well in pro wrestling. I mean, Bobby Green is stepping in on a short notice to fight Islam Makhachev.
Dude, that's
Now,
my fucking
in the world,
dog,
dude.
man.
Talk about a tough matchup though on short notice of all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, it's tough. It's tough, but Bobby Green's a savage, bro.
Yeah.
If anybody could do it on short notice, it would be him.
If he's coming off the momentum he had this past weekend, dude, he put on a fucking showing. On
Dude, him
Saturday.
just
Incredible.
pointing to the ground. I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could credit who I seen posted the Twitter post, but somebody had noted Bobby Green's got the perfect style to beat Islam, hands down, and good punch. Like basically making fun of how he's always got his hands like straight to his hips, man. And I hope the best for him because to your point, man, I'm a big fan of Bobby Green, man. But that's a tough matchup, especially
It's tough.
5
It's
rounds.
But
It doesn't get
okay,
much
here's
tougher,
the
I feel
thing,
like,
though.
But that's a good payday, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Make that money.
right. Here's
Make
the
that
thing.
money.
If Bobby Green's manager is worth the shit, you gotta think that there's gotta be some kind of incentives. There's gotta be some kind of like major bonuses or something
Oh, yeah.
for him stepping up to take this fight. And like past guests of the show and a guy you hear, I don't know, every Monday night on Monday Night Raw, past guests of the show, Jimmy Smith was saying, I mean, think about it. Even if Bobby Green goes in there and Makhachev just fucking Russian Khabib bear guys, Bobby Green, I mean, does it really hurt him that bad? Because if
No,
Bobby
not
Green
at all.
goes in there and does Bobby Green's thing, he stepped up on it. Hey, we appreciate all of you guys liking the video. We appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, hit them comments, all that good shit. We need it. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that like button so you see us every Tuesday and Thursday. But yeah, dude, I feel like we've been talking about. That's like the theme of this show. Scared money don't make no money.
Yeah.
And I feel like Bobby Green said, you know
Yeah,
what,
I
damn
dig
it,
it.
I ain't getting any younger, and I'm shooting my shot, and I am not mad at you, kind sir.
Take all the main event opportunities you can. Take every single shot at that headline
Oh, yeah.
opportunity you can. My only big concern is this fight may end up looking similar to like the Michael Johnson Khabib fight. That's kind of where I see this
Yeah,
one
I don't
playing
know.
out too.
I don't know if anything can be like that fight.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I looked at Khabib and I was just like, no.
Right.
Like,
Here's
when
the
he's
funny
just like
thing.
he's hammering him in the cage and he's just like, I deserve this. I was like, is he
Here's a
talking to
question
this
I
dude
pose
right
to
now
you
while
guys.
he's beating his ass?
If Bobby Green doesn't come off that great showing on Saturday, do you think he's the guy in line there? do you think he would have took that fight, or do you think it'd be completely different?
It would have probably, honestly, if he didn't have that good showing and stuff, I'm surprised Islam even accepted a lower end contender. And I'm surprised we didn't see, some other fight get moved into the main event slot. I'm very upset as a Beneil Dariush fan. I was very much looking forward to this fight, hoping for.
I agree with that completely. I wanted to see how that fight played out. But on the Islam side, though, I mean, that's the thing, though, dude. And having I said, having been there before where you go all the way to fight and you make weight and shit. Hell, Corey, you were there when I fought a guy 15 pounds heavier, dude. Like, he made his whole camp, right? Yeah. Like, he did his whole camp. I got to imagine there's got to be a certain point where he's like, I don't give a fuck who you put in the cage with me. Yeah. Like, I want to fight because, dude, you put all that time into a camp, whether you fight or not. Here's the thing that we talk about on the show all the time that nobody wants to talk about. Even if you don't fight, like, you go through a whole camp, you get to the weigh-in, the guy can't fight, whatever, you still got to pay for that camp, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so... I mean, I'm just saying,
and
like,
not to mention, and Tommy, you could probably attest to this. Once you get in that mental state where you're ready to go, man, and something happens to your match or something like that, it just tears you apart.
It sucks, man. It's a hard one to bounce back from, especially like short term, like those quick turnarounds. It's rough. I can only imagine what it's like for like fighters and shit.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful,
especially
with
the weight cuts and everything else that goes into it. I mean, that's a whole nother layer to the onion, I guess you could say. But Kyle had actually brought up our kind of strength of schedule and how we love watching these guys grow. And another person that got a main event opportunity coming up this weekend, our boy Jamal Hill. What's your thoughts on him taking on Johnny Walker in this weekend's main event?
Oh, dude, I want him to win. I don't know what it is about Johnny Walker. I just not a fan. Not a fan. I think for me, I think it was when he did the whole like salute thing and fell forward and he fucked his whole shoulder up. I was just like, how do you do that, dude?
I forgot about that, dude.
Yeah, that was where I was just like, nah. I was like, nah, I'm good. Hey, I'm good on him. I'm good on him.
My buddy Wiggs, that's like his favorite fighter right now, so he's pretty.
Hey, Wiggs. I got your belt, motherfucker, and I got the $200 that went with it. Saying.
That's his boy, man. I had to tell him
$200.
Hill's been on the show. He's from Michigan. I was like, I ain't gonna root against this.
Here,
guy.
I'll leave this in here with the $200 in my bank account.
Walker lost me most definitely in his last fight. I feel like he still has potential. He still has definitely like the explosive nature and stuff like that. But in that Thiago Santos fight, man, he just looked pure defensive, didn't try to do anything, and just it was not at all an impressive performance whatsoever. He may come out here and try to redeem himself 100%, and that kind of worries me. But I feel like Jamal, man. People sleep on to his point, man. People sleep on him until they get woke up by the doctors, man. So
straight up.
He's done nothing but great things other than his Paul Craig fight. But even then, man, like, what kind of guy fucking watches his arm flop and is like, no, I'm still gonna try to throw some punches because fuck this shit. Like.
Fight or flight, bro.
He would not accept the loss. He would not accept what came with it. And he did nothing but improve and look incredible in his Jimmy Crute fight. So it's hard to root against him, man. Michigan boy.
No, 100%.
It's I hope the
best,
man.
I've said this since we had him on the show. Definitely want to get Jamal back on the show. Look, dude, that guy speaks his mind, and all you haters that had a problem with him speaking his mind on this show, fuck y'all too. Yeah. But that being said, I am very much looking forward to this fight. I hope Jamal does big things. I've already said such. Make sure you send some positive vibes towards Sweet Dreams. But I mean, Tommy, we've kept you for quite a while. Like I said, RPW, ICW, you're going to be doing your thing, Chicago, Illinois. If you've got any parting thoughts, not only for your opponents, but for anybody on the fence of getting to the show. Now, I'm just going to say with the snow out here, that might make things a little bit harder to get to. But
it might.
How are you feeling? And let them know what's up.
pretty much. I mean, you know what? Fuck it. I got a message for Hoodfoot. Let me throw one out here.
That's what I'm talking about. You said you had some shit to say. It's starting to seem like Knockouts in the 3 Crowns is the place that people come to if they got some shit to say. God damn.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But Hoodfoot is that guy right now that everybody's talking about. He's in everybody's mouth. Everybody is talking about this dude. And it's my job to go into his hometown and beat his ass in front of his friends and family and watch their faces change from the happy faces of getting to see their loved one, their loved one Hoodfoot out there doing his thing, to the absolute sheer horror on their faces when they see the lifeless bloody heap that was Hoodfoot that I'm going to leave in Chicago. And that is a promise, but it's also a death threat.
Well, hot damn, that's about as good a way as any to cap a show. And Hoodfoot, you know, we already told you the door was open. Well, I guess the challenge and the gauntlet has been laid down. Make sure you're checking out RPW if you got IWTV, all that good stuff. Like I said, I, for one, am looking for this one play. So, Donald, I hear you. I need to get to Chicago, but see, the post office thinks otherwise right now. So I, for one, may not make it to Chicago this time. But, you know,
and the weather, of course.
The post office just,
the weather.
I mean, that too. The weather too, because even with that Jeep, I ain't going to hold you up. It was pretty shitty. But we've had death threats laid out, and all the threats that we've laid out, if you don't lay them subscribe buttons down, we appreciate you. I'll buy the beer. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, you're already offering me free beer, man. Damn this weather, or I'd come drink with you. Hey, man, we appreciate you guys checking out Knockouts and 3 Counts. I can't go enjoy a beer with Donald in Chicago, but maybe I'll have to find another show here in Michigan to enjoy a beer at. Well, until next time, you know, hey, why don't we take it back a bit? Fuck your couch!